Rodney Cohen, part 2 of our definition explanation of SOMA. So, mate, let's touch on now something that we both are really big on that people seem to think they get, but we seem to see that maybe they don't. Observation. And that's for us, mate, it's not just the observation of what we see, it's the observation of what the clients feel. So I guess for us is that what we're really focusing on here is we've got a system called LEAD, and that system is now engaging the client to actually do a couple of things with themselves as well as us to them. Do you want to touch on that, please, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important for us to just lay the foundation that we're not saying we've mastered observation by any means. No. We haven't. There's so much. And will we ever obtain mastery? I don't know. I probably won't, but we'll die trying. Yeah. There's a lot of great, there's so many great practitioners out there who can observe what we're doing and where we're unique is that we're really observing the whole entire person. And in the observation component, which you brought out, we call that listening. And then the listen, the engaging component, and then the application component or the appraising is how have we done? Because it's kind of a self-accountability, and then the development. So the lead is where we listen, we engage, we appraise, and then we develop. And so we're not coming at this with a shotgun approach. So I think we need to let people know that we're not masters. We're not claiming to be the best thing since sliced bread. We're not claiming to be better than anyone else by any means, and we're not doing a shotgun. We're coming after this with an organized system, but it's a flexible, dynamic system that is based upon the trainer, the coach, their ability and comfort level, as well as the clients, because it's a relationship. It has to be about both. And so in the observation, we're listening to not only what we're seeing from a movement standpoint, how they, quote, mechanically move, but how they emotionally are moving. And it's like emotocanics. I mean, it's how is the emotional mechanics going? What are their facial expressions? I mean, these are things that you and I have talked about and discussed so many times. Is what types of postures are they getting in? What types of facial expressions do they have? What do they do are they wincing? Are they struggling? How are they breathing? All of these different things that play such a massive component into movement. So it goes into the emotional side as well as the mechanical side. And I think that's where we need to understand how to listen. And that's where we can be much more sensitive and much more empowering when we then engage the client.
So, Roddy, and I love the fact you're exactly right. The humility side of things is where we're trying to come from this. We're trying to come from a perspective of we just want to allow the people now who are involved with SOMA, whether it be client, coach, or trainer, to actually be able to practice their craft, to be actually able to become very efficient and effective at doing what they do. So whether it is a fascial mobilizer, whether it is, myofascial release, whether it is a osteofascial techniques or functional reconnection, whether it's an isometric contraction, there's some pretty exciting stuff we're doing because it's very different with different sequencing and affecting various mechanoreceptors. And it's amazing to see when you apply it with various types of situations, how powerful and empowering it is for the client. And more importantly, how now we can start to get the outcomes for clients, but we don't judge those outcomes, just like we don't judge the clients. Because as you and I have said for years and years and years, we've done all these appraisals, we've done all these assessments over the years, and there's some amazing assessments out there, but most of the people who are coming to us already know that they're broken or that they're hurt. So emotionally, we can actually now start to put them through a process that doesn't feel like an appraisal, anything other than appraisal, not an assessment, and they don't feel like they're being judged. So now there's no emotional negativity.
Right.
So to be able to create that system that allows, as you said in part one, connection, a language, and to evolve what is happening in the wellness industry, and now to create observational skills for both you and I and the person in front of us, the human being, to be able to apply it effectively, and then finally to be able to measure the outcome, we are now starting to create success, which then will start to create a business longevity or career, which is something that we're not seeing in the industry, mate.
Absolutely. And couldn't have said it better.
Roddy, let's get into 3 and 4, inflammation and collaboration. So I'll stop this recording and we'll be right back.